Hello, we're back. This is the second week in a row that we've recorded exactly a week apart. So we got both our weeks in a row. Oof.
Got our ducks in a row.
Yeah. Weeks.
That's not, okay, yeah.
So last week on Sunday was the first week that we did church from home, or that we were asked to stay home from church because of the coronavirus deal that's going on, the pandemic that's going on right now. So
lockdown.
Last week we read the first vision and we talked about it. And we just kind of had a chill day. But this week, I'm just jumping ahead because we're talking about church from home. So in the middle of last week, the bishop said all priesthood holders administer the sacrament in your home. So today we had a nice little sacrament meeting. Brooklyn gave a lesson talk. I performed a musical number on the guitar, and Juniper crawled around
and comic relief,
which is necessary in all church meetings. The comic relief. But sorry, I burped. I don't know. It's like as soon as I start talking, it's like my burps start coming. But I'm sorry, everybody. That's decent of me. Indecent. But we did have a really good meeting today. We talked about last week's Brooklyn's lesson was about on the Come Follow Me from last week, about the allegory of the olive tree, or the olive vineyard, I guess, and the olive tree.
Jacob 5.
And yeah, Jacob 5, and then we talked about Sherem and stuff, and it was just a nice spiritual thing. We're talking about it, and it really is amazing that the church has been focusing so much in the last year on the church, or the home-centered, church-supported model, for a year, and then this happens kind of thing, and where people are actually doing church in their home and having to worship by themselves. And I just think it's like a testimony, builds my testimony that it's being led by God. Like, they know that this stuff is happening. So
revelation for the church.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so this week it's been, the week before was kind of the start. So it was last Thursday that the NBA stopped. Not this last Thursday, but the Thursday before that the NBA shut down. And that was kind of the catalyst for the rest of the United States. So
it was the following day
was Friday.
Everyone started shutting things down.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm going to sneeze. No, went away. I'm sorry. I was like,
Matt cannot control.
I was so worried. I was so worried. But yeah, so the last Friday is when they started everyone just started shutting down. So it's been a week and a little bit now. And this last week has been good.
Yeah. There was the mayor, or the governor of California issued the safer from home mandate, basically saying you can't leave your house unless it's for essential things.
Yeah.
Except, we've been going to the park, which I think is okay. I think it's okay to leave your house as long as you're not interacting with people.
Yeah, social distancing is
staying away from people.
the big is the big thing right now. It's the big focus. Is if you have to go out, just stay away from other people.
It's interesting. We're opposing magnetic forces. When we get close to people, they just we'll just separate.
Yeah.
When we're going on the sidewalk, everyone will just move away from each other and hold their kids. It's kind of interesting.
It is. But yeah, so that's been, I think that, it must have been this week. They also announced they announced that movie theaters and normal theaters and bars and restaurants and everything needed to close except for things that could be delivered. They're basically shutting down all non-essential things.
Business.
Yeah. And that's been crazy. It's just been like, whoa, what's happening?
Yeah, what's going to happen
Yeah.
to these businesses? What's going to happen to the economy? And so,
yeah, so it's kind of
crazy
scary.
times.
But the all in all, we've been fairly optimistic about it. I think that it will blow over soon. I hope that it does. That all of this kind of just that they either come up with a treatment quickly, or that this actually works and helps us get back on our feet and lowers or lessens the impact to the medical system, because that's kind of the whole point of it all, is just to flatten the curve, is what they say. Got to flatten the curve so that it doesn't spike. But yeah, I mean, because of that though, I feel like since the lockdown we've been able to, even though we're stuck together, like stuck in one place and can't like go out or be with people, I actually feel like it's helped a lot of people reach out to families and friends and stuff in ways that they couldn't, because now, on Friday nights we can't just go to a restaurant and hang out, or go on a date or anything like that. Like you because you're stuck at home, it's like, okay, I need to find a way to be social. And so reaching out to family, like both of Brooklyn and I's families have had like big group texts and stuff going on, with a lot more participation, because we're all just kind of, sharing memes or just talking about what's going on. And
it is interesting that, like, I don't know of another time where memes have been relatable to literally everyone. And so everyone's sharing the same memes, and we all think it's funny because we all understand.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's interesting.
Yeah. And it's been kind of good that way. It's like kind of a little blessing,
bringing people together,
a little blessing in disguise, amid like a lot of kind of bad stuff. But yeah, so we've done that. We played games with the Moose this week, which is a family that we play board games with a lot. But I have a game called Tabletop Simulator, and they have it, and we got it for Brooklyn, basically where it's just you're sitting around a table playing a game playing board games on tabletop. So we played Jumanji, which is fitting. A lot of people are like, who's playing Jumanji, and just finish the game, because like earthquakes in Utah, which I guess I didn't put on here. There was an earthquake in Utah, like a big one, and right in the middle of this quarantine where everyone's home, and then all of a sudden there's like an earthquake and
other disasters.
And
happening.
Yeah, it's just kind of I don't know. I think that that's funny. We are in a situation that's a funny situation.
Yeah.
I was talking to Chantel and David.
It's terrifying, but funny.
But yeah, I mean, you got to find the humor in it a little bit. But I was talking to Chantel and David, and I was like, it feels like we've stepped into a wrong timeline. Like something happened where like we got stuck in a loop, a bad timeline, like in Back to the Future, when Biff brings the almanac back to young Biff and then makes the future into like Bifftopia, or like
We're living in
Biffageddon, I
Bifftopia.
guess. It's like where he becomes like, he owns everything because he knows the outcomes of all the sporting events and races and stuff.
Or it's like Community, where they have all those different
The
timelines.
different timelines.
It's like the one where it's mass chaos.
Yeah, but this one is like Donald Trump is president, and there's a global pandemic and earthquakes, and we're all like, I don't know, it's just crazy. It's like Donald Trump found the almanac and took it back to himself. But no, it doesn't work that way. It's just crazy. So but yeah, we did play games with them, and it was really fun. It's fun. It's interesting because tabletop simulators, it feels like you're playing a board game in a room with people, because you're actually moving tokens like you would in a board game and everything. So it's a good way to stay in touch and kind of like still have that social element of something. I think games in general are, and I think that like being able to stay in touch by playing games, it like lets you still talk to people. It lets you do something together without having to actually be in the same room, which is pretty fun.
I was gonna say, it's kind of funny how before all this happened, Matt was saying people said like e-games or like, what was it? Esports are not real sports. And then when this happened, they're like, esports are the only sports. And so it's just funny how like all these things that, I don't know, were maybe like not as popular to some people are now like the only form of entertainment.
Yeah.
So it's just funny.
It is really funny. It's just like, it feels like the whole, like our whole way of life has just been shifted like differently. And it's just kind of weird. It's kind of crazy.
That reminds me though, Matt showed me this thing this morning of all these celebrities like posting tweets or just things on Instagram where they're like, we can get through this together. Like, I haven't left my house in forever. And their house is like 3 times the size of our house. Or it's like
3,000 times
it's like the size of a city. It's like, oh, you poor thing.
Yeah. All of them with their
like
Arnold
private swimming
Schwarzenegger
pool
and
and like their own
hot tub and
or like a whole field with like horses
or
and
their
stuff
own like gym, their own gyms
private
that
golf
like
course.
overlook the city from their penthouse suites and stuff.
Smiling down upon us.
Yeah. They're like, it's so difficult to be in, but we can get through it together. It's like, do you live in a studio apartment? The room you're in is 3 times the size of our whole apartment.
Everyone pity us.
Everyone pity us.
Just kidding.
It's really not that bad. And I think that, I do think that that's, I thought that was funny, but a little unfair because everyone is going through something.
Yeah,
and I was thinking about that with them a little bit too. It's like having a certain lifestyle and having it change so drastically is difficult. So
yeah, no matter who it is.
But it is kind of funny that it's like
it's a little.
They
bit
have
like
their own
laughable.
like essentially their own like private city to like go around in and find things to do. But anyway, but so what we've been doing is we've been going to the park, like Brooklyn said. Like we'll go down. There's a park that is like 3 or 4 blocks away. Takes us like 15 minutes to walk to it, 10 minutes to walk to it maybe. And it's been really nice. We've just kind of been throwing frisbee and playing with June and just getting out once a day has just helped feel better, get the sun on your face and a little bit of fresh air.
Yeah, add some normalcy.
But it is, yeah. But hopefully it's okay. I think it is, but we're trying to stay away from people. And like at the park yesterday, there were more people because it was Saturday. During the week, it's been fine. I think Saturday people are still working from home, so they can't just like go out. And we're I'm doing school, but it doesn't take that much time, so we've gone out every day. But there were more people, and there's like this kind of small group of this family with the 3 kids, and they were throwing a frisbee, and it got kind of close to somebody, and the mom was like, don't get close to people, don't get close, which is like it. Like, yeah, that's smart. Like, you shouldn't do that. But it just is kind of funny, this like, this like just apprehension of like not knowing if people are sick and just like trying to avoid it. It's just kind of so antisocial, but we're so social as beings. So, I know it's interesting. The park has been nice, though. Brooklyn is learning to throw a frisbee.
I am. I'm getting good at it,
and she's getting pretty good at it.
Getting less scared of that disc flying toward my face 1,000 miles an hour.
At 2 miles an hour is actually the speed that a frisbee flies.
No, it hurts when you catch it. Like pinches the nerves in my hand. I don't want to lose functionality in my hand.
That's true. Brooklyn's hands are the money makers, so, or at least one of them. Just use your left hand.
I know. Anytime I like cut or burn or something bad happens to my left hand, Matt's like, oh, it's fine. It's your left hand.
Doesn't matter. We don't need that one. Your right hand's the important hand. But yeah, that's been really fun. It's nice because you run around a little bit and stuff. But anyway, been doing that. Then the other night, this is like Thursday or Friday, I think, we played a game. So I got a game on the PlayStation called Don't Starve Together, which is a cooperative version of a game called Don't Starve, where the whole premise is that you're like plopped down into this, I don't know, it feels like post-apocalyptic-y, but this like kind of maybe haunted wilderness, and you have to survive. So you have to gather twigs and grass and stone and
it's like the upside down of Stardew Valley.
Or yeah,
if Stardew Valley was like put into the upside down of Stranger Things.
but it's like it's kind of scary, but it's the art
It's very
style is very
cartoony.
cartoony, and it's very like it's actually kind of like almost cutesy funny. But there are some like scary moments, especially if you don't sleep and your like character starts going a little insane, like rabbits turn into these little monsters. Anyway, it's really fun. If you've got somebody to play it with, it's pretty fun. I mean, it's just like any other survival games. So there's like crafting and things, and there's a little bit
materials
of
and stuff.
There's a little bit of a learning
Berries and
curve. Just a small one, but one just to get into it and figure out what you should be doing. But
I've realized through these games though, so Stardew Valley, Don't Starve Together, and we'll talk about this other game that we're playing right now.
yeah, we just got Animal Crossing.
But I realize that I am not very task oriented, and Matt is really good at that. Like, he knows what to do, where to go, what materials to get, what to do, like in that successive order. And I just like, I'll just go catch like 1,000 butterflies, and I'm like starving and like sleep deprived. I'm like about to faint, but I'm just like, I see the butterflies and I'm gonna go catch the butterflies, and that's it. So yeah, I'm not like great at these games, but I have fun at them. So
yeah, and it's fun to play. They're fun to play, and especially when you can play things together, it's just nice to do something different. I think that it's fun to watch movies and stuff, but playing games together is like a unique thing that, I don't know, it's fun. I like a good cooperative game. And Don't Starve Together, I would like recommend. We haven't played very much of it, but it's like so far I'd say it's like a 7 or 8 out of 10. Like, I think that there's just a little bit, like it's a unique game. It might not be for everyone, but it's like a fun, good, well put together game. So, but it incited one of like the scariest night terrors of Brooklyn's whole life and mine. Okay, let me just preface this with, so Brooklyn has night terrors, and they usually come on from sleep deprivation. So if we stay up too late, which we did, or if we watch something scary, or she thinks about something scary before bed,
or like I see a spider,
or see a spider, or a bug, or something. The worst night terror that has ever happened. I'm just going to tell a story of it, and then we can tell this story. Or should I go the other way around?
Is this one better than that? Is this one worse than that one?
It's like they're just like on they're like on par with each other.
I think I know what you're talking about.
my reaction was worse in this one.
Oh, okay.
So the first night terror was when we were in Rhode Island. The very, very first night in Rhode Island. And we moved into this apartment, and I was nervous. I didn't know what the area was like. It turned out to be a very, very nice place, or a good place. But I didn't know what the area was going to be like. I didn't know what our landlord was going to be like. We'd never met any of these people and stuff. And we got there, and we got everything in, and we put our bed, and we put it in the bedroom, and it was right under a window. And that window had a fire escape that came out of it. And and we're like, okay, that's fine, whatever. That night, Brooklyn just wakes up, just screaming.
And I can't scream. Like, I can't scream.
No, not
normally.
She can't do it consciously. And she screams, and she goes, "Nah, there's someone coming in the window. There's someone coming in the window." And that spiked my fear so quickly. But I was fine. I kind of jumped up and looked out the window, and nothing was happening, and that was okay. But that was one of the scariest night terrors that happened, and then this one. So, I think night terrors are better told from my perspective.
I agree.
Because Brooklyn's perspective.
Matt exaggerates it so much.
No, that
was actually pretty accurate.
There are some that I don't exaggerate them. No, I don't exaggerate them. They're all this way. They are, but also it's because I'm significantly more aware of what's happening than Brooklyn is. So I actually have to tell her sometimes that she had night terrors because she doesn't remember them.
It takes me a while to come to.
Yeah.
You know.
So this one, Brooklyn and this is how a normal night terror goes. She kind of sits up in bed and goes, and she might shuffle through the blankets and pillows a little bit because she thinks there's like a spiders or like mice in the bed or Juniper. Yeah, something is wrong kind of thing. And so she kind of shuffles and sits up and she'll grab her phone and like try to turn the light on, trying to find stuff. And usually I kind of like slowly wake up and I'm like, it's okay, don't worry about it, it's okay, kind of thing. But you can't, if you tell her that, yeah, she gets mad.
You're like, no, it's there.
So I've started, like, I'll try and just turn on the lamp by our bed. Is because once the light comes on and she can, like, it starts, like, dawning on her that she's okay. This one, though, she just jumped out of bed screaming.
Like, flinging across the room.
Just, like, flies out of bed, throws the blankets and stuff. And I jump out of bed and I start screaming too, because I don't know. That's not my normal reaction, but I start screaming and you jump out of bed. Brooklyn hits our potted plant and it knocks it over and soil goes everywhere. And she hits her shin on the bed frame and it's just like this giant like cacophony of like terror. And I'm screaming, she's screaming. I kind of like grab her and like we're holding each other and stuff. And I realize that, oh, she's just having night terror. But like my heart rate is like a million miles an hour and she's still like scared and stuff. And as I hold her and we kind of like calm down a little bit, she's like, the monsters were nibbling on my fingers. And it's just like this huge climax, like just the scariest,
so, like melodramatic
thing. And it just like planes. It's just nothing. And it's just like one of those, and that just like coming, yeah, it's anticlimactic. It's just like, it's like so scary. And then afterwards you're just like, oh my gosh, like it's just, I don't know. I'm glad it's not real.
To be fair, the way I was sleeping on my fingers was making them like fall asleep or go numb, and that's why I thought there were monsters nibbling on my fingers.
And a lot of
it's always based on something that's like kind of real.
A lot of her night terrors actually do come from things like that, or like if I'm like up scrolling like through Reddit or Facebook or something, and she has fallen asleep, and I shift, like if I move, like if my back is touching her back, and I move to like roll over and go to sleep or something like that, it can like make it happen kind of thing. Look at that snap in the waveform is like a spike. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it can do that. And so anyway, that was a good night terror.
It was. And so the next morning we had to clean up a lot of dirt.
Yeah, it was like a ton. Did you fill it after? We still need to fill it up.
Fill it now.
Yeah, we still need to do that.
Our poor plant.
Whoops. No, it's fine. It'll be fine though. But yeah, so we just kind of hit the perfect storm of like kind of playing something that's a little scary, not really scary, but just enough scary that it like plants the thing in her mind, not sleeping at all, and then just whatever started it. I don't know, sleeping on your hand, funny, but it was a pretty good night terror. And then was that just yesterday morning?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yesterday, then the rest of the day, Brooklyn got her reviews done in record time, which was awesome. And
animation course reviews.
The animation course reviews.
Sometimes it takes me hours.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this.
It just sometimes, yeah. But she was done in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Which it can take her like 6. It has taken her like 6 or 7 before. But so that was really good. Got that done early. Animal Crossing New Horizons finally showed up. So I pre-ordered Animal Crossing. It's the new one for the Switch. I love Animal Crossing. Granted, I've only played the one on the GameCube, but that's okay. And it came yesterday. It was delayed though. It was supposed to come on the 20th. That's when it released, but it was delayed because of the coronavirus stuff and came on the 21st instead. But I was pretty sad. I'm so excited it's here though. So this is what we did yesterday. So Brooklyn finished her thing, and then I did promise her that I would watch The Great Race with her, which is this old movie from like the 60s. 1965 is when it was released, and that Brooklyn's family loves, and rightly so. It is a fantastic movie.
Right?
Yes.
I liked it a lot.
I loved it. I thought it was really, really funny. It is 2 hours and 36 minutes long. It has a huge like opening, like an enter scene enter just like ding 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 ding, playing music kind of thing, and it has like a huge intermission too, and so that takes chunks out of it. But it was really funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get a copy of it and do like a Matt Walker cut of it though, because there are some scenes that are so long and so unnecessary, but they're funny. But they're so long and so
That's
unnecessary.
what makes it funny, though. It's like,
and I get
break
that.
fights out, and
this fight
breaks out. Wow, and it lasts like 15 minutes, and it's just funny how long it's going, and the people who started it like aren't even there anymore.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's funny. It is funny.
Oh, and
but
Jack Lemmon is great.
Yeah, Jack Lemmon is hilarious. It is a very funny and good movie. I would recommend it to anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone that wants to watch it. It's clean, it's hilarious, it's
fun for kids.
Fun for adults. Like, it's a funny, good old movie.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
And I realized that I was like, man, Jack Lemmon, who is Professor Fate, is like Jack Black today. He's just like his expressions and kind of his silly, like the way he holds himself. And then Matt pointed out that it's also like Jim Carrey. I feel like Jim Carrey must have studied him because the way that Jim Carrey moves and holds himself like is just like him.
It's really interesting to see. And anyway, yeah, it's a good movie. I would 10 of 10. Movie. 10 of 10. But it's not like too slapstick though. It's not like it's funny
and clever.
It's clever, and there are moments of slapstick, but it's not like the Three Stooges. You're not watching the Three Stooges. Yeah. You know, it's like Looney Tune-y. But only sometimes. I don't know. It's really good. I love it.
It's funny.
10 out of 10. Would recommend. If you haven't, like, I'm actually saying this. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one.
Maybe with somebody that you will laugh with, though. It's funny anyway. It's just long.
I know Matt's like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
But
I finally did it. It's
True
been
love.
4 years, and I finally watched the one movie that she wants.
My family quotes it all the time.
Yeah, and it was really fun. It was really good. And then after that, we played Animal Crossing, which is so fun. I love Animal Crossing. The premise of Animal Crossing is, in historic games, has been that you move into a new town, and Tom Nook, owner of a shop in the town, graciously offers you a home to build you a home, and he builds it for you, but then and then he says, okay, that's going to cost 45,000 bells is what they're called, but dollars. And that's just like an obscene amount of money. And the rest of the game is you paying off the loans that Tom Nook forces you into, essentially. So after you pay off the first one, he says, oh great, I'll upgrade your home now. And he like upgrades it, and then you're in another loan with him. So it's like crippling debt. And so this one though is you go to an island, a desert island that Tom Nook is running these deserted island destination things, and
getaway.
But then it's the same thing. You still got to pay him off. But it's super fun. You just run around, and it's just like a chill. There's no action. There's not a lot of chill. Like, it's just a very chill lifestyle game. It's just decorations, and anyway, it's not for everyone, but I love it. Brooklyn likes it because it's not stressful at all. Except when the spiders come for you.
Yeah. Or when you get stung by bees.
Yeah. So I really would recommend it for most. It's not for everyone. Like, if you just like playing like action games or adventure games, it's not for everyone. But if you like just chill things and like easy stuff, it's so fun. But Brooklyn gets it's hilarious.
I get very flustered.
It's just frazzled. Like, as soon as something starts happening, like as soon as she knows that something is going to happen, her ability to coordinate her eyes, brain, and hands it's gone, like 100%. It's like
start pushing.
There's a
all
spider,
the
and she's like been playing it perfectly for like hours, and not hours. I mean, we haven't played even that much yet, but she's been playing it perfectly. And then all of a sudden, well, this is for any game though. This is not just for Animal Crossing, but all of a sudden something happens and just whoop, it's all gone.
I can't remember.
This is how it was with Luigi's Mansion. Is she was like great. Like, we'd go around sucking stuff up and fighting little ghosts and stuff. But as soon as we got into a boss room, it's just like, whoop.
Like I can't remember what to do.
Yeah. How do I push this button? It's pretty funny. But it's just kind of, I think it is interesting because we've talked about this. It's kind of like the difference between like me as a non-artist and her as an artist. If I approach the things that she has spent hours doing, I'd do the same thing. You know, I would like forget how to draw. Like I'd forget how to do things, but it's just different things for different people. Mm-hmm. But Animal Crossing is great. For me, it's 10 out of 10. I've been waiting for it since it was like six months. Well, I mean, I've been waiting for it for a long time, but it was announced 6 months ago, and I was like, I'm getting that as soon as it comes out because I love Animal Crossing.
He's been excited.
Okay, what else we got? Juniper. Yeah, Juniper is easy. She sits up on her own all the time, and we had to move down the bassinet and the pack and play because she was starting to like be able to get her hands up on top of the bar, and we didn't want her
getting into
and
the
like
sitting
getting
position.
into the sitting position. She's like can see out too easy, so we dropped her down into the bottom of the just kidding. No, we moved the mattress down to the bottom of the pack and play, so we lost all the storage under the bassinet and the pack and play, which was vital for us. We don't know what we're gonna do now. I'll find something, but yeah, she's just grown up like a little girl.
Mm-hmm. And what's been happening the past week is, so we've just been trying to figure out how to get her to go longer stretches, and
At
she
night,
kept like
sleeping longer stretches.
Yeah, and so she would like wake up around midnight for a couple of days, and then she'd wake up only at like 5 for a few nights, and she just keep going back and forth, not really making any serious progress. But then she kept like suddenly she started like waking up just an hour earlier until it got closer to midnight, and was like, you know what, I should try to make that the dream feed, which is basically you feed them before you go to bed.
I just want to point out
so that
she's correct, but this was my idea.
Yes,
not her.
Sorry,
idea.
I made it sound like it was my idea.
Yeah, it was.
This was Matt's idea.
This was my idea.
But basically,
I just want credit.
Which is why we stayed up so late the other night. It was like, okay, well, I don't want to cut it back too fast, otherwise she might wake up a second time in the night. Mm-hmm. Anyways, and so we stayed up till like 12:30 or 1-ish and fed her.
12:30.
Yeah, and so
and basically then last night we stayed up till midnight and fed her right at midnight.
And she didn't wake up till 8.
Till 8. Brooklyn got the first 8 hours of sleep that she's had since the baby was born.
Yeah. And it felt amazing. This morning I woke up, I was like, I feel like $1,000. Not $1 million. I don't feel that good. I do feel like $1,000 though. So
we're gonna try that instead. But yeah, it's awesome. Baby's starting to sleep a lot better at night. And she sleeps really well during the day because she's in a closet. Mm-hmm. And it's just good.
It's dark and good temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 8 hours. Woo!
Yep.
Let's hope that keeps up.
I know. Regain our sanity. Just kidding. Your sanity. I don't wake up. It was...
Yep.
Yeah, it was my idea because I want Brooklyn to sleep.
Did you guys hear it was Matt's idea?
If you guys know... This was Matt's
idea.
It was my idea. I had it while I was doing dishes. I think of a lot of things when I'm doing dishes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of thoughts about a lot of things.
Good job, Matt.
Okay, well, that's it. That's all we got, right?
Yep.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Cool. Brooklyn yawned. She's bored. All right. We love you, and we will catch you next time on The Walker Talks.